Welcome to the Church Universal series, where we seek to tell the often untold story of the many apostolates in the Catholic Church which are making a positive difference in the world through their charitable works and prayerful lives. Pope St. John Paul II wrote that man cannot understand his life without experiencing love. Hello, I'm Father Joseph Mary, and today I'm speaking once again with members of a group of people who bring love to the poor and abandoned, teaching them how to love others and to love God. They are members of Kotane, in English, Flower Village, a community of love and salvation located in South Korea, but present in 14 countries. Today we'll be speaking about their work in Korea and in other places around the world. My guests today are Father Oh Eung-jin, who is the founder, Brother James Yu, coordinator of Kotane Panama, Sister Matthias Choi, director of Kotane Haiti, and Sandra Kasky, who is with the Food for the Poor and also a third order member of Kotane. Welcome to all of you.
사랑합니다.
Brother Yu, just tell us briefly the significance of that greeting for those that didn't see the first program.
Okay. So this is Kotane greeting. Also, whenever we say 사랑합니다, means that we love you in English. Whenever we say that we love you, so we always make the shape of a heart like this.
Beautiful. So Father Oh, you are the founder of Kotane. Tell us about your work with the homeless in Seoul.
신부님 저기 서울역에서 하시는
고통의 역사는 세 가지를 가지고 삽니다. 가장 보잘것없는 사람에게 해준 것이 곧 나에게 해준 것이라는 그 말씀하고.
So Kotane is doing the apostolic mission with three things. First thing is whatever you did to one of the least brothers of mine is what you did for me, which is by Jesus.
얻어먹을 수 있는 힘만 있어도 그건 주님의 은총이라는 그 깨달음을 가졌고.
Also, the second is an understanding of even if you have only strength to beg for food, it is the blessing of the Lord.
1978년도 8월 10일 날 판탄교 다리에 쓰러진 할아버지 모시고 갈 때 예수님께서 저에게 새로운 계약을 맺어줬어요.
So actually, the Jesus let me have the special spiritual experience when I put the dying man on the bridge to my car to hospital in 1976.
오늘같이 가장 보잘것없는 사람을 내 이름으로 네가 맞아들이면 나머지 것은 모두 책임져 준다는 새로운 계약을 가지고 있습니다.
So the message is, if you receive one of the least brother in my name, I will take care of everything else.
우리 한국에는 1950년도 6.25 전쟁도 있었지만은.
So in Korea, there was a Korean War in 1950.
또 하나의 재앙은 1997년 5월달에 IMF가 왔습니다.
So there was an economic crisis in 1997 in Korea.
그래서 길가에 많은 노숙인들이 생기기 시작했어요.
There are so many homeless people appear on the street then.
저는 1997년 5월서부터 서울역에 나가서 죽어가는 그 노숙인들을 모시기 시작했어요.
So since the May 1997, I have brought the homeless people who needs the immediate attention to Kotane community.
깨달음이 두 가지가 있는데.
There are two understanding that I have.
거리는 달랄 줄만 알고 줄 줄을 몰라요.
The beggars, they only knows about the ask for something, not knows about the give.
그러나 사랑이라는 개념을 제가 알게 됐거든요.
But I got the understanding of love.
가장 큰 사랑은 벗을 위해서 자기 목숨을 바치라는 것을 주님한테 배웠어요.
So I just learned from the Lord, the greatest love is to give your life for your friends.
물질적으로 가난해도 사랑을 할 수 없을 정도로 가난한 것은 아니다.
Even if you are so poor, you're not that poor to love others.
마태복음 5장 2절에
From Matthew 5:2.
행복하여라 마음이 가난한 사람들 그들은 하늘나라를 차지하리라.
Happy are those who are poor in spirit, they will take heaven.
저는 자선을 하고 봉사를 하는 것을 삶으로 저는 가르쳐주고 배워주고
So I
싶었고
actually teach them and to let them learn how to practice love in charity and service.
내가 희생을 하고 속죄할 수 있으면 그 고난의 특권도 할 수 있다는 것을 저는 깨닫고 있습니다.
And also, sacrifice and atonement.
옛날이나 지금이나 똑같이 달랄 줄만 아는 거린들을 데려다가 줄 줄만 아는 사랑하는 성자로 만드는 것입니다.
So I actually transform those beggars who only knows about the and take something from others to
Yes.
one who can give for others.
제 본명 주길이 사도 요한이기 때문에 12월 27일 날이에요.
So my patron, feast day is December 27th.
그래서 주기를 맞이해서 사람들이 저한테 선물을 갖다 주기
So
시작해요.
many people started giving me the gifts to celebrate my feast day.
그걸 가지고 서울역에 와서 10월 27일 날 미사를
So I
드렸습니다.
brought those gifts to Seoul Station. I celebrate the mass for the homeless people there.
1000명씩 1500명씩 모이면 다 갖다 주었어요.
So when I have that, 1,000 or 1,500, homeless people together for the mass, I gave them back.
그리고 그들에게 사랑을 가르쳐주고 배워주고 체험시켜주기
Also,
시작했습니다.
I started teaching them how to, the practice love. Also let them learn and experience.
그것을 깨달음을 가지고 제가 더 가난한 나라에다 돕겠다고 할 때 하이티나 또 아프리카 우간다나 필리핀이나 할 때 그분들이 돈을 내기 시작했죠.
So when I had this experience, I stretch out to other countries like in Haiti or Uganda. So I ask them to donate their money for those poorer countries. So they started giving for those countries.
저는 거린들을 데려다가 예수님으로 만드는 작업을 좀 시작했습니다.
So I started the transforming the beggars into the one who can give.
That's a beautiful thing, that it's not only just receiving the help from others, but learning that we too, whatever our state may be, that we're all called to give in whatever way that we can, right? So Sandra, you have worked with the Food for the Poor, and then you get this new call to be involved with Kootenay in Haiti. Tell us about that establishment.
Well, Father Joseph, in 2010, when the Haiti earthquake occurred, I got a call at Food for the Poor from the ICRIS movement in the Vatican that they wanted to help with the earthquake, with the relief.
Yes.
And after negotiating with them for a year, then they told me we have a wonderful community and the gift is coming from Korea. And then I was able to get in touch with them. We were communicated. They came and visited with us at Food for the Poor in Florida, because Food for the Poor we were established in 1982, and but in Haiti since 1986. And so we traveled to Haiti to see what the condition was like. And while there, Brother Shin asked me, he says, I would like for you to come to our Love in Action School. And I said to him, well, if it is God's will, then I would be there. And in October, I did go to Love in Action School in Korea. When I was there, I think that, we go to places thinking that we are going to help them and change them.
Right.
But you leave transformed because they actually change you. And so I found that while I was there, I saw the work that they did. Food for the Poor, we use the verse Matthew 25:40, whatsoever you do for the least, you do for me. We're in 17 countries, and we feed maybe almost hundreds of thousands of people a day.
Wow.
So in Korea, the work that they were doing, the house of angels and the house of hope and the house of love just mirrored what Food for the Poor does in the other countries that we served. And I was just blown away by that. So that morning, before I left to come back to Florida, I phoned the president of Food for the Poor, and I knew that at that time we were our mission is really to empower the church so that they can do their work, and we will do that through the materially poor and the poor in spirit. And so I knew that we were looking for someone to help with our orphanages, with our village of the elderly. And so I asked the president if he would gift the village of the elderly to Cotonais. And I guess he trusted me and said yes. And we made the announcement. It was a very huge gift,
Wow.
but the village was already established. It had 350 homes. It had, today I think they have 275 elderly, and they've expanded the mission. They're a wonderful organization, Cotonais, and we are
Yes.
pleased to be able to partner with them and to journey with them,
Beautiful.
because they manifest that gospel message, and you know, they're walking the message, and they're just not talking to talk.
Yes.
They're working at it. Yeah.
Sister Choi, talk about your work in Haiti. You're the director there, is that right? And
yes.
how are you helping the poor?
We are, you know, Haiti is really poor country, so there are a lot of people on the street. So we take them, we invite them actually, and if they have a yes, and we brought them and give care. But we have some people from the street or from they're abandoned at the hospital. Even their parents or family, they're sick, they brought the hospital and they go away. So the hospital asked us, can we get the abandoned sick? So we get the abandoned sick like that too. Once a month we visit the General Hospital, which is the biggest hospital in the Port-au-Prince. And when we distribute the food, the bread and juice, we always pass the corner, which is we call the public the shower room, but actually they throw away the garbage and then the toilet. But there are always several people are sitting. I mean, even the people are dying, but
Yes.
nobody care. So after we distribute the food, we brought them. If there are a lot of people, but we cannot get, or just we have to, if we have to choose two or three, we took the least, I mean, the most serious, the patient, we took them and we give care. Sometimes they die at the same day in our hands. Before, sometimes they spend the 1 day or 2 days, they die, and we do a funeral. But some people, they get well. So I call them miracle, because
Yes.
in the village we have a lot of miracles.
Yes.
They were really problem with mentally and the physically. When they get well, they serve for the other elderly or other sick in the village. Right now, when I show the visitor or volunteers, whoever visit our village, I always introduce them as like a miracle. He or she
Yes.
is my miracle, our miracle.
They would have
Right.
died without your help.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the one guy from I remember he's from the hospital. It's really irony. Can you imagine you can get the sick in the dying at the hospital, but took him at the village. Actually, village, we don't have a hospital, but we just give a basic care, but they get well and they survive, and he get new life, second
Beautiful.
life. And he used to, before he's sick, he used to bring the the bag to get the small money. He's a young guy, but since he get well, he changed, and then he renew. I mean, he get well. I mean, second life. He serve every morning. He bring the water for the elderly, those who cannot get out of their bed, or he bathe them and feed them, bring the food, and he is always available
Wow.
to help us in the village.
The transformation physically, but then also spiritually, that now they're giving of themselves. Well, let's take a
Yeah.
look at the video you put together,
Okay.
which summarizes this and give our viewers a chance to see some of these people we're talking about.
Okay.
What Kotongne pursues is not just the social welfare work, but the work of salvation. The salvation is the transformation of someone who does not care for others caused by lack of love, becoming the one who can love by serving them with the true love. The one who only knows to ask for himself changes to someone who cares to give for others. Kotongne teaches to Kotongne family members a devoted love that makes them give everything they have, as well as how to love.
거지란 달랄 줄만 알고 줄 줄을 모르는 사람이 자기의 자신을 위해서 살지 말고 하느님 아버지께서 좋아하고 기뻐하고 소망하고 마음에 드는 자선으로 봉사로 희생으로 눈 못 보는 사람에게 내 죽은 시체지만은 안구를 기증함으로써 눈을 보게 하고 의학 발전을 위해서
Father Oung Jin celebrates his patron saint feast day with the homeless annually on December 27th. He does not only provide food and clothing, but also give them love and teach them to love each other. The homeless, who only ask for themselves, now are giving their money out of their pocket to help the victims of natural disaster like earthquakes and typhoons from all over the world. Kotongne visits slum areas near the Seoul station every week and teaches the catechism of Catholic Church and baptize them. If anyone passed away, Kotongne would hold the funeral for him in Kotongne Cemetery. The poor who learned and experienced this love are now donating their offering money to help the less fortunate neighbors. The love of Kotongne is reaching out to all over the world. This is Haiti, one of the poorest countries in the world. There are many people are abandoned, patients dying even in hospital without proper treatment. This young man named Odeng was left to die. He had a deep knife wound on his head. He was abandoned, dehydrated because he could not eat. He was brought to Kotongne, Haiti. The villagers treated him, gave him IV injection and food. Next day, they gave him a bath and a haircut. His knife wound began to heal on his blood-stained head. He recuperated and could walk and talk while he was in Kotongne, Haiti. His recovery was a miracle. Now his bright smile and his life of love has surprised us all. Odeng was baptized in Kotongne. He helped morning mass as an altar server. He also delivers food to those who cannot move and helps Beth family members who cannot walk.
Nyalaman tu jiboje merci grâce à Dieu parce que toujours m'a fait pour l'autre monde pour la une toujours m'a fait pour vous grâce à Dieu le matin pour bien. Calamida.
So there was that greeting again. Brother Yu, tell us about the spirituality of Kotongne.
As a matter of fact, the spirituality of Kotongne is spirituality of salvation, we can say. So when you go to the Seoul station to help the homeless people there, so we can find out. Well, of course we distribute the bread and the drink for them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we try to find out that those who really need immediate medical attention. So we brought them down into the Kotongne community, and we actually took very good care of them. The thing is, not only for the physical their well-being, but also for their spiritual well-being.
Yes.
That means we try to transform the beggar into spiritual person. That means those people who came from Seoul station, the homeless
Mm-hmm.
people, when they arrive in Kotongne in first place, they are kind of wild. It's
Yeah.
really hard. They're hard to cope with them.
Mm-hmm.
But while they're staying in the community, they actually receive the love from our religious brothers or sisters, even volunteers. So they got the sense that they're being loved
Yes.
by God and by people. So since then, they kind of they become transformed step by step. So eventually, they become one of volunteers to serve other patients in the community. So I think that this is the one of the important spirituality in Kotongne.
Beautiful. Just like this young man that we saw on the video, how his whole life was transformed. He was physically saved from dying,
That's right.
but even more so now he's learning to live a life of self-giving
New
love.
life.
Do you see a lot of people come into the Catholic faith because of their experience of love?
Well, yeah. Actually, Korea is not the Catholic country, so we only have a slightly over 10% of 10% of population. I mean the Catholic the population just 10% of the total population in Korea. But once they come down to the Kotongne community from Seoul Station, so when we're they're the homeless, they're Buddhist or the like atheist. But as long as they stay in the community, they kind of experience God's love through the lot of the religious brothers or sisters and volunteers. They eventually become baptized. So right now, about over 90% of Kotongne family members are Catholic.
Wow, beautiful. Sandra, I would guess that's been your experience too, that a lot of these people are kind of discarded. Nobody really pays attention to them. Maybe there's even contempt. But when they experience love, it changes us, right?
Absolutely, yes. And I think with Kotongne, even me myself, with joining the community and being a third order, it's a life of prayer, a life of selfless giving, selflessly.
Yes.
You walk through the community and everyone is doing something for someone, instead of maybe wanting to do something for oneself,
Right.
as you find today. I think that in a lot of the countries, I have been to Uganda with them and other places that they serve, you see this selfless love. Christ, died for us, gave himself for us. And this is what I believe that the brothers and sisters of Kotongne do on a daily basis. And I think that the poor, the homeless, the abandoned, feel that love and so respond.
Do you have any stories that come to mind of people you've seen a transformation in them?
And we've just started Jamaica Kotongne.
Okay.
And Food for the Poor has been very instrumental with that. And the sisters that are there, we started a soup kitchen. And so now they go out and they deliver meals to the abandoned and the homeless. And they're in certain communities. And she gave me a story that one day they were out, they didn't have a driver, so they were short on the people that were going to be giving the meals. And as they went around giving, there was this homeless man who they had met several times, and they asked him if he would help in the giving of the meals.
Yes.
And he said yes. And that was really, I think, an amazing story of transformation, that he knew the love that they had given him, he is now giving to his
Right.
own abandoned brothers and sisters on the streets of Jamaica.
Beautiful. Brother Yu, if people want to learn more about Kotongne, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can simply contact us by email, by info@kkot.org.kr. So,
And why would you encourage people to become part of Kotongne? What are the spiritual fruits that they will experience in their lives?
well, as a matter of fact, I'm the one of the fruits of Kotongne. So I've got the the life-changing experience in Kotongne.
Yes.
So if you want to have this kind of experience, please contact us or even visit us in Korea or in Haiti. So that is why
So
I
it's
recommend.
given you a whole different perspective on life, the meaning of life, and you seem to have a lot of joy too. Is
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Yes.
I'm happy every day, So
It's something that when we learn to forget ourselves, go outside of ourselves, it's that Trinitarian life, right?
Yes.
Because the life of the Trinity is a self-giving love,
Yes.
but also receiving.
Yes.
So it's in the giving that we receive, right, that the
Right.
Lord taught us. So it's a
Amen.
beautiful message of Kotongne. So thank you for coming to be a part of this program
you.
today, and
thank you.
we wish you the best. Do you want to give the final greeting again?
Yeah, of course. So once again, this is Kotongni greeting. So we all make the shape of a heart and saying 사랑합니다. 시작합니다. 사랑합니다.
사랑합니다.
Whatever we do to the least, we do for Jesus. How will you and I respond to the message and example of Kotane? Let us, dear friends, make our faith and love real through our actions this day. May God bless and guide us. We will see you again this time next week for another episode of the Church Universal.